Kanye West has officially lost it, and it's way worse than you could imagine. But just a few years ago, everything was fine. Kanye West was smiling on stage, making gospel music and raising his kids. He had the world in his hands. People joked about his ego, his outbursts, the Kanye being Kanye moments. But deep down, we still loved him. We watched him push boundaries, staying true to his word even at a heavy price. But something changed. Suddenly, the headlines got darker, the tweets got louder, and the interviews stopped making sense. And Kanye? He stopped looking like Kanye. We laughed, we judged, we memed. But underneath it all, there was one question we never really asked. What actually happened to him? To understand this, we first have to look into how it all started. Before the scandals, before the headlines, there was Kanye West, the artist. He came out the gate with a vision no one saw coming. When Rockefeller didn't believe in him, he made College Dropout anyway. He turned pain into poetry, rapped through the wire with his jaw literally wired shut. He made faith mainstream with Jesus Walks, and by the time Slow Jams and All Falls Down dropped, he wasn't just in the game, he was already changing it. Kanye West wasn't trying to fit in, he was breaking the mold, wearing pink polos when everyone else wore baggy jeans, rhyming about student loans and social class instead of drugs or gang life. Then came Late Registration and Graduation. Each album sounded like a leap forward, more orchestras, more ideas, and more ambition. By 2010, he was operating on another level, but just a year before, everything nearly collapsed. After storming the stage at the VMAs and snatching the mic from Taylor Swift, Kanye became public enemy number one. The media dragged him. The internet mocked him. Even the president called him a jackass.
Why would he do that?
He's a jackass.
So he vanished. Left the country. Fled to Hawaii. No paparazzi, no noise, just music. And then came My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, an album after leaving and all the public backlash, and he turned it into one of his best works. It wasn't just good, it was flawless. From Power to Runaway, Kanye poured out everything. Ego, regrets, rage, and genius. And suddenly, the same guy they tried to cancel was untouchable. But it wasn't just music. He was breaking into fashion, redefining sneakers, challenging politics, speaking up, standing out. Love him or hate him, Kanye was making culture. He represented possibility. He inspired a whole generation to dream bigger, to create fearlessly. But when you reach the top, you've got everything to lose. But all of a sudden, the 2009 Mag Snatch from Taylor Swift was all it took, the beginning of a spiral. By 2013, the soul samples and clean cut aesthetics were gone. Yeezus was loud, raw, industrial, an album that sounded like a machine breaking down. He started lashing out. Interviews got intense, rants got longer. On stage, on air, on Twitter. And then in 2016, on the St. Pablo tour, he stopped mid-performance. Rambled about Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Hillary Clinton.
It's a new world, Hillary Clinton. It's a new world, Barack. It's a new world, Jay-Z.
Then walked off stage and was hospitalized for a psychiatric emergency. That same year, he showed up at Trump Tower, smiling next to a president the culture despised. Was it politics? Was it performance? Or was it something else? Then came the TMZ moment. Kanye stood in their newsroom and said, his friends distanced themselves, brands cut ties, even longtime supporters started walking away. And just when it felt like he couldn't go further, he launched a presidential campaign, wearing bulletproof vests, crying at rallies. He wasn't making music, he was making headlines. And behind every headline, there was someone standing in the background. Someone new. He wasn't the Kanye we knew anymore. And this was only the beginning. For nearly a decade, Kim Kardashian wasn't just Kanye's wife, she was his anchor. Their relationship began in 2012, and by 2014, they were married in a lavish ceremony in Florence. To the public, they were a power couple, balancing fame, fashion, family, and empire. But behind the scenes, Kim was often the steady hand when Kanye drifted off course. She supported his creativity. She stood by him during his 2016 breakdown and hospitalization. Even as he grew more unpredictable, From erratic tweets to explosive interviews, she rarely commented publicly, choosing instead to protect their image and shield their children. But the cracks started to show in 2020. Kanye's decision to run for president, his rallies, and especially the speech where he revealed private family matters left Kim blindsided. She released a statement asking for compassion, citing his bipolar disorder, a moment that exposed the emotional weight she'd quietly carried. By early 2021, after months of separation and mounting tension, Kim filed for divorce, and Kanye didn't take it well. He begged for her return during concerts, altered lyrics in live performances, and made emotional pleas on social media. That divorce was a breaking point for Kanye. The man who once stood beside her on red carpets now stood alone, masked, aimless, and no longer with the one person who tried to hold him steady. After Kim, it was like something in Kanye broke for good, not just emotionally, but creatively, mentally, and publicly. And that pattern, it didn't start with her. Every woman he's been with has left their mark on him, for better or for worse. Amber Rose was the first. Their relationship began around 2008, right after the release of 808s and Heartbreak. That was a dark time. Kanye was grieving his mother's death and pulling away from the industry. Their relationship was raw, unfiltered, and unpredictable, much like the Yeezus era that followed. She didn't calm him, she pushed him. And for a while, that chaos was creative fuel. Then came Kim Kardashian. Kanye settled into a more structured life, fatherhood, fashion deals, and faith. It was during this time that we saw the life of Pablo, Sunday services, and the gospel rebrand. Kim didn't just offer support. She helped create a vision of Kanye that felt polished, even relatable. Public opinion softened. He smiled more, tweeted less, and he was likable again. But that image came at a cost. Kim wasn't just a partner, she was a media powerhouse. Their life became a brand, and Kanye was expected to play his part. The tension between who he was and who he was expected to be kept growing. And when the relationship cracked, so did the identity he had built around it. Each breakup didn't just end a relationship, it shattered a version of Kanye. With Amber, the loss led to emotional detachment. With Kim, the loss pulled the rug from under his public persona. That polished, composed Kanye just couldn't survive without her. The divorce wasn't just the end of a love story. Almost immediately after the split, something shifted. Kanye didn't disappear quietly. What began as emotional posts begging for Kim to come back quickly turned into something darker. He started targeting Pete Davidson, Kim's new partner, with a kind of obsessive energy that felt unwell. There were dozens of Instagram posts and tweets, mocking, threatening, sometimes even cryptic. Kanye wasn't just hurt, he was feeling jealous and lashing out. The Easy music video pushed it even further. In the claymation visuals, Kanye kidnaps and buries a cartoon version of Pete alive. The message wasn't subtle, it was disturbing. And it showed a man who wasn't just heartbroken, but consumed by rage and control. Behind the scenes, Kim tried to set boundaries, but he didn't stop. He followed her, showed up uninvited, posted screenshots of private messages, aired out family drama online. Every day felt like a new headline. The Kanye people once defended, all of it faded beneath a cloud of paranoia and desperation. This wasn't about attention anymore. This was a man drowning in real time, fighting for control over something that was already gone. And for many watching, this is where sympathy started turning into concern. Because for the first time, it felt like Kanye West might actually lose himself completely. But when Kanye finally reappeared, it wasn't the comeback anyone hoped for. He showed up barefoot in Italy, married in secret, beside Bianca Censori. The two were secretly married in a private ceremony just months after his divorce from Kim. But this wasn't a honeymoon phase. This felt off. Bianca became a mystery. Every time the two stepped outside, it made headlines. Not just because Kanye was back in public, but because he looked different, detached. And Bianca, she looked like a mannequin molded in his image. Skin-tight bodysuits, sheer fabrics, plastic-looking silhouettes. She didn't speak, she barely blinked. People started to wonder if she was being controlled. Maybe Kanye was no longer in control of himself. He was lost, spiraling deeper, and Bianca was just a mirror reflecting it all back at us. The infamous Italy boat incident pushed the backlash even further. Kanye was photographed while showcasing public indecency with Bianca Censori during a boat ride in Venice. And unlike before, there was no attempt to explain or clarify. Just silence. His clothes got weirder, his interviews vanished. Side-by-side comparisons started popping up. Old Kanye versus now Kanye. It was a collapse. And whatever came next, she became the face of it. But just when it seemed like it couldn't get worse, after months of silence, Kanye made headlines again, this time during the 2024 Super Bowl. He landed the most expensive ad on the biggest stage. And in true Ye fashion, it was a 30-second selfie video filmed in a dentist's chair.
Go to Yeezy.com.
And when viewers clicked the link, they found something darker. A plain white shirt titled HH01. For many, that was the final straw. But Kanye made it even worse. In the days that followed, he flooded Twitter with praise for Hitler, called himself a Nazi, and even posted swastikas. And within days, Twitter banned his account. This wasn't just another controversy. This felt like a man detached from reality, broadcasting it to the entire world. And it left us asking the same question. What was the real reason Kanye went crazy? It wasn't about Bianca. It wasn't even really about Kim. What happened to Kanye wasn't one crash. It was a slow, silent unraveling. Years of grief, ego, and isolation building behind the scenes. The death of his mother left a wound that never truly healed. His fame became a mirror that only showed him the extremes, genius or villain, icon or meltdown. Bit by bit, he lost the things that connected him to reality. Mentors, family, a grounded identity. No one could say no to him. No one could hold him back. And when the last anchor was gone, he drifted. The real reason Kanye West went crazy isn't scandal or women or fame. It's what happens when a person has everything and still feels empty. And maybe that's the most heartbreaking part, because we didn't just lose the old Kanye, he did too. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe and check out the next one right here.